Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be sharing a very special video with you guys. A couple of weeks ago, myself and Craig got to visit the Rhino Orphanage and see firsthand the incredible work that they do there. They take in orphaned rhinos who have lost their moms to either poaching or natural causes, and they give them a second chance of life. The work they do is truly remarkable, and they are really on the front line of conservation, helping saving a species every day. We met with Ari, who is the founder and the owner of the Rhino Orphanage, and he told us the incredible stories behind how the Rhino Orphanage came about, but also the very sad stories behind why the Rhino Orphanage is needed. And I feel it's very important to share these stories with the world, both to show what is actually happening with our rhinos here in South Africa, but also to give you guys hope, telling the stories of the people who are working really hard to save this species. And that it is light at the end of the tunnel, we just all have to work together. As Ari says in this interview, anything is possible if you just believe it is.
When the poaching pandemic started in South Africa, we had more or less 24,000 white rhinos. How many have we still got left? Nobody knows. Kruger has lost 80% of their population. Southern Africa was home to plus minus 93% of all white rhinos on the planet. It's on the brink of extinction. We're losing a species. There was always a few. We lost every year. We lost 10. Then if you go through the statistics, you will see it's 8 this year, then 11, and then 10. And so, there was always a little bit. Because remember, Rhino Horn has always been part of traditional Chinese medicine. In China, you have universities and medical schools teaching only traditional Chinese medicine, and others Western medicine. And the Chinese government gives bursaries away in the zillions to students who want to study traditional Chinese medicine. Now, it's always been part. It's a rubbish story that it's an aphrodisiac and things like that. It was never never. They used it for all kinds of ailments, from colds and flu, even hangovers. They used it for everything up to 2010. A Vietnamese cabinet minister announced publicly that he was cured of his prostate cancer by using Rhino. It became the miracle cure for cancer. The price of Rhino Horn went through the roof. Rhino Horn at the moment is more valuable than gold. It's more valuable than heroin. So what happens? Who gets involved? Organized crime. It's not what people think. There's 3 or 4 guys sitting around a fire in Mozambique and deciding, we're going to go tomorrow and shoot a rhino. It's not. It's run by organized crime. In South Africa, the government, not all of them, but there's government officials involved in this. We've had wildlife vets involved in it. I mean, I experienced it personally. The thing is, what people don't realize, the cruelty that goes with it. How cruel it is. I mean, we go through it every now and again, and the things we've seen and experienced are just, it's scary. That dead mother with a little baby pushing against the mother, trying to drink, can't understand what is going on. Some of these animals went through hell and back. Because what they did, in the old days they used assault rifles, and a lot of them survived the attacks because of the fact that those things doesn't penetrate deep enough to kill a rhino. But what the thing is, what the worst of the worst of the worst is that they started using high caliber hunting rifles, larger and larger calibers. Now, your problem with that is the bang of when you pull the trigger. And what they then decided is then they used the same drugs that the vets used, the immobilizing drugs. What they then do, they dart the animal goes down, and they take their axes and pangas. Remember, there's a piece like that inside the skull. So they cut the whole face off. They chop the whole face off and leave that animal. And that animal wakes up without a face. I've seen it. We followed one that we could smell the animal before we could see it. It was rotting, alive. Yeah, the thing is this, you must make it so difficult for them that it's not worth it anymore. It's a guy, Professor Larkin at the University of Witwatersrand in Joburg. He's a nuclear physicist, but he's done the research with a lot of other scientists all over the world to get this thing of making the rhino horn radioactive, to put a radioactive isotope in the rhino horn so the horn is radioactive. Now, once that horn is radioactive, that thing is useless. You can't take it anywhere. You can't move it. There is so many monitors on this planet picking up radioactivity. You can't go anywhere with it. And the thing is, according to international law, if you get caught with any radioactive material, you get charged with international terrorism, and the minimum sentence 40 years. Yeah, we're going to do it here at the end of the month. It'll be a massive, massive, massive game changer.
So if people want to help you guys and maybe donate money or other ways that they can help, what can they do and where can they go?
What I would recommend is you going to the Rhino Orphanage website, and on our page we've got a donate button. There's different options that you can actually donate towards the rhinos here at the orphanage. You can either donate towards their food, their milk supplies, their dry food, their grass, or you can actually donate an individual rhino per month or sponsor a rhino per month or per year. Then another thing you can do as well is we have a volunteering program that we run through ACE, African Conservation Experiences, that we allow volunteers to come and work with us, work alongside the team with the rhinos. It's basic what you would expect at a normal animal shelter kind of thing. There's always going to be cleaning of bomas and cleaning up behind the little ones and those kind of things. Then we also have a wish list on our website that we list certain items that we would like to receive. So we do have specific items that we require during different times of the year. What we do is, if you can just follow even the social media pages of the Rhino Orphanage on Instagram and on Facebook, then you can just, even if you just share the posts, that obviously helps us with exposure. We can reach more people out there. And if you don't have the money, maybe one of your friends or someone with a colleague or someone as a business might have that kind of funding available to help us in something like that. Every little bit helps. Even if you donate 10 Rand, $10, if you've got 50 people donating that small amount, it eventually adds up. So every little bit helps. So.
We started this totally by accident. Totally. Because when the poaching in South Africa went through the roof, you can ask them. Every newspaper, every time the TV came on news, so many rhinos were shot that day, and so many now, and so many there, and so many there. One of my next door neighbors phoned me. He had quite a few rhinos, and he said to me, their shots, it was early, it was around 5:15 in the morning. And he said there were shots fired on his farm. He doesn't know what is going on. Please, can we come and help? And I said, okay. And I found the chopper pilot. I said, come and pick me up. Let's go. So we flew around there. We found there was about a rhino cow shot about 400 meters from his house. Then we found another rhino cow shot with a 3-month-old baby that they also killed. I don't know why. But to cut a long story short, we found all these rhinos. The first cow had a 7-month-old calf. And that calf was running around on the farm now without a mother. And he said to me, where can you take this calf? And I said, I've got no idea. It must be dozens of places. And I literally went back Walked into the office and I started phoning. And everybody said, no, there's no place. And I eventually got through to Endangered Wildlife Trust to a woman by the name of Christy, and Christy said to me, listen, we've been having meetings for the past 18 months on where to build it, who's going to pay for it, where it must be, what it must look like, and all these things. And I've got a very big mouth. So on the phone, I just said, I don't know why. I said to her, don't worry, stop worrying, I'll build one. Put the phone down. Because if you want to irritate the hell out of me, have meetings and discussions and things. I believe in Nike, just do it. If you decide to do it, you do it. And I put the phone on and I thought to myself, what the hell did you do now? And I found a friend of mine, he's a Yorkshireman. He's now back in England, but he's a marketing fundy. And I said to him, listen, we're going to build the world's first Rhino Orphanage. You're going to help me get the money. And he said yes, and that's basically how it started. And I thought it's going to be the easiest thing in the world, because how politically correct is it? Baby rhinos, mothers were killed. It was a hell of a ride. It's so difficult to sell a dream. Once there's something, then it's easy. Not easy, but it's easier. And I'll never forget, New Holland were the first people that bought the story. And they gave me a tractor, so I had a tractor. And that's it. And I got all the people in to design it and what it had to look like and the whole story. And then we did our arithmetic and say it's going to cost so much. And I thought, it's going to be easy. Jeez. It was scary. It was absolutely scary. We couldn't get the money. And then people in Joburg organized a big fundraising function there for us and said, it's all the rich and famous are going to be there and you're going to walk away with zillions and zillions. And we walked away with nothing. After a massive presentation, everything. And I walked into my office and I said to my wife, you know what? This thing is not going to work. It's not going to work. We might as well forget it. We'll never get the money. It won't work. And she said, but before you say that, there are people in the Boma tonight, in the White Line Boma, that are having a braai, a barbecue. There's a lot of guys. They want to hear the story. And I said, who are they? She said, I've got no idea. All she knows is that they're on a golf tour. They're on a golf tour. And I said, golf tour? 9 o'clock at night on a golf tour. I play golf. I know what they look like on a golf tour, 9 o'clock at night. And she forced me. I didn't want to go. She forced me. I walked in there were 32 guys sitting around there. And they were just finished their dinner and I did my presentation and half of them were pickled really well. And as I said, thank you, and started to walk out, one guy got up. And he said, I'm so-and-so, I am the CEO of Pretoria Portland Cement, which is the biggest cement company in South Africa. I'll give you so many bags of cement. And the guy next to him got up and he looked at him and he said to him, you're a Mickey Mouse. I'm the CEO of Lafarge Cement, I'll double that. All 32 were big boys in the construction industry.
They helped you build
the whole thing. I still get so emotional. I walked out that night with everything to build the whole place. So it shows you, never give up.